Hi everyone, hope you guys are doing good. So today we are going to talk about three cases. In two of the cases, we are going to talk about what went wrong while building up their products. And in a nutshell, what I could understand, they were in a build trap, product build trap, which means those founders kept on building the product for the last 2, 3 years with no result, and maybe they were too much optimistic or too much hopeful about the result. In the third case, everything was good. They had good product, good set of founders, uh, alignment with the market need, etc. were there. It's just that they were not focusing on the growth side, considering that somebody will come maybe from the sales side and they will start selling their products. So, what is the output of this discussion today? The output of the discussion is we will be knowing when to stop building the product, when to focus on the growth part or the sales part, and what are the ways to build up those things in the initial journey. So in the first case, it was an enterprise product. The team was also great. Interestingly, they had an understanding of their hypothesis, which means the problem understanding of the problem, and they kept on building the product. Ideally, in the case of enterprise, you take the money from the investors and then you start building. In case you have the right set of very vital problem which the B2B enterprise companies or the customers are facing. In their case, the hypothesis may or may not be correct. Reason being, they kept on investing their own amount, their own money, with the hope that it will sell someday. They also brought in another co-founder, considering he will be able to sell the product. But the problem was they were not talking to their customers. Once I got a chance to talk to them, and they shared that, hey, the problem is we are getting the interest from the companies, and the proposals are sitting on the table. But every now and then, once we were pushing those customers to close, they were simply asking for more features, or they are asking for, or sometimes they are not even replying. So they had they had no clue what's wrong with the whole process. I simply asked one question: how many customers had they spoken with? And they said like around 10 customers. So I said, that's the problem. They should have spoken with at least 30 or 40 customers initially to understand what is the common thread of the problem, which which is vital to solve. I also asked that since it's been already 2.5 years, they had been, trying to build the product, and day in, day out, they have been investing so much money. So where they are getting the funding from or the investment from? So their reply was that they are investing their own money. They were bootstrapped. I said that was not the ideal suggested way to build any enterprise product. Industry standard is whenever you're trying to build enterprise product, you pick up very small, very tiny part of it, and which is very vital or core to solve for the customer, where the customers are ready to pay. And that there are a couple of benefits out of this. Suppose you are building one small API, right, for out of the whole enterprise software. So one thing, it's not heavy price to pay from the customer side, and your competitors are also not focusing on that particular small part. Reason being, it's not adding value add to their overall software, because it will be not be making sense to their strategic roadmap. Third thing, this is the way you will be getting directly into the house of your customers. You will be able to get the opportunity to sit along with your customer or the real user, whoever is using that particular feature, and you will be able to understand the bigger problem, which is directly related or directly aligned to to the feature. And the biggest benefit is that it will also not be costing you huge amount of money. Still, in case you want to build up the product, what you should do, you should be asking the VCs or the investors for the whole funding. Reason being, if investors are ready to, pay you that much money to build out the whole, to test out the build, build product or product building, I would say that's a great thing because you're not investing your own money. It's an opportunity cost which is not going to be that heavy. So these are the things they should have done. And after a couple of months, which I suggested, uh, these things I suggested they did not pay attention to the whole, discussion or the points which I suggested to them. And after a couple of months, I came to know that they were thinking of pivoting, which means certainly they did not, they should have taken these steps, or at least they should be, they should have been very vocal to the discussion, right? So this is the first case. Second case was almost similar to that, where it's been 3 years, they were building up the product, they had spoken with only three to four customers, and they were very optimistic in nature, I would say, which means they kept on hoping that, hey, once I talk to this that customer, they should be, that customer should be showing great interest because my product is different, my product is unique, my product is XYZ. But that's a mirage, I would say. So I simply suggested go and talk to your customer because they definitely, based on certain experience, either you or your co-founders must have had faced. What should they do? They should have gone near to the customers and spoken. Let's talk about the third case where product was great, team was great. They already had couple of customers, like well-paying customer, right? But the problem was the founder was not ready to invest himself into the sales part. What he was thinking that, hey, I might not be the good fit for the sales, although I know it, or that was supposed to be my core job. Like sales was supposed to be my core job, but some expert salesperson who is coming from the B2B enterprise level companies, he would be the right, he was expected to be the right fit. So he hired a very experienced salesperson, and his pipeline, which I looked into the PPT and the whole CRM, data. So it also looked good, but the problem was it was not converting. He was literally, not happy with the result. At the same time, he was also agreeing that, hey, he seems the guy, the sales guy, is also a smart and experienced person. He's trying to build a very, good level of uh, pipeline, but I don't know why it's not converting. I suggested him that, hey, initially you should be, it's the founder who does the sales. Reason being, it's not about sales in the initial, days. It's about the fitment of the product and understanding, or maybe recognizing the uh, you know right pain point from the customer journey. For example, suppose you're trying to sell, or you're building up an automation, chat automation, and you're trying to sell into the healthcare. Now suddenly you'll realize, once you talk to the customer, that, hey, there's some bigger problem which is directly associated with that, or maybe some other problems are there which are more vital than the problem which you are building. So in that case, pivoting will be required, or maybe focusing on some other problem will be much more important. So luckily he agreed upon that. And I also shared the story of DoorDash, which is something like Zomato in India. So, and he agreed upon that. And after 2 days, he came to me and he said that, hey, it's a great news. I got one international, our first international client. I said, okay, great. That you were supposed to do at the first place. Now, ideally, founders should not be going for the sales guys. So these are the three summaries I wanted to highlight. Hoping that these experiences are going to strengthen you and will be helping you in your insight. Please highlight those questions in case you have any specific problem statement which you are facing. Could be the product related problems, maybe it's idea or hypothesis related problem, growth or sales related problem, and building up your team related problem, could be anything like that. Write in the comment in case you are facing any problem related to growth or product or team building, etc. I'll try to come up with the video related to that. Hopefully you enjoy the video, and see you soon. Bye bye.